Another day in another Browns practice officially in the books, but this time it's a little bit different as the Minnesota Vikings join them to have their first joint practice of the year. We got to see a lot of 1-on-1s, 7-on-7s, 11-on-11 work. We had a big injury happen today. Again, we're going to break down everything you need to know about today's practice. That way you guys are, kept up to date with everything that's going on. Before we jump into the video though, do me a big favor and comment down below who are you most excited to see during this next Browns-Vikings preseason football game, but also do me a bigger favor and go give a follow to all of the Browns and Vikings media members on X, because without them, these videos are not possible to make. So go give them a follow really quickly before we jump into all the news, notes, highlights, observations from today's practice. It doesn't cost anything, and you'll be updated with practice pretty much every single day. Now, with that being said, let's kind of jump into the video and talk a little bit about practice. Now, we did see some one-on-ones. Amari Cooper down left side of the field gets a nice little one into the end zone. Just a nice little one-on-one catch. Then we had Elijah Moore on an in-breaking route. Looked like more of a dig over the middle. Great route, great catch. Nice little completion for the Browns offense there. And then we got to see some Justin Jefferson get outside. Nice little comeback route. Came back to the football and made a big-time catch versus the DB for the Browns as well. We saw Jerry Jeudy get some action today. But there was a big-time injury. Now, Jordan Addison, we've heard about JJ McCarthy, him going down with an injury. Looks like he could be out for the season. Now it looks like Jordan Addison also went down as well. Looked like he went up for a ball, came down, was a little bit hobbled, walked off to the sideline for a little bit, but eventually had to be carted off the field. Now, as of right now, I have no idea what the severity of the injury is. So I want you guys to do me a favor and comment down below if you find out what exactly happened. What the severity is, let me know in the comments down below. I'm praying, I'm hoping that Jordan Addison is okay and everything will be alright, but it looks like we will find out hopefully soon. I'm hoping it's some really good news. But with that being said, look for a guy like Jalen Naylor or Tristan Jackson or Brandon Powell, Trent Sherfield. One of those guys is going to step into that wide receiver 3 mold. Or I guess you could say wide receiver 2, but, someone's got to step up. Let me know in the comments who you think will step up for the Minnesota Vikings. We also saw a little bit of Deshaun Watson getting David Njoku down the seam. I think there was a 30-yard completion, so that was a nice one. Very next play, hit another slant to Njoku. We saw Miles Harden get an interception versus the Vikings. Looks like Sam Darnold will be your quarterback for the entirety of the season. So that's definitely something that's exciting to see. Now, keep in mind, they were not allowed to film 7-on-7s or 11-on-11s during this practice, just because they don't want anyone stealing plays through the film. So keep that in mind. Now, before we get any further into the news and notes from today's practice, because we had a decent amount of them, make sure you guys do me a favor, hit the like button, but also subscribe to the channel if you're new. It is free. It doesn't cost anything, and we will be covering the Browns and the Vikings throughout the entirety of the offseason, all of training camp, all of preseason, all of regular season, breaking down film, looking at training camp practices, breaking down preseason, everything. We got you guys covered. Join the family. It doesn't cost a thing. And lastly, if you want to watch the Browns and Vikings play live with me, go follow my Twitch. Link will be in the description, or you can find it at Matty Dubs with 3 S's. With that being said, let's kind of dive back into the video. So during one-on-ones, we did have a nice little play from Cam Mitchell. Bad throw from the quarterback, ends up getting an interception. It feels like the Browns DBs won a ton of the matchups in today's practice. We saw Miles Harden also with an interception as well. To me, it really just felt like the Vikings were, I don't want to say shell-shocked, but they just didn't look like themselves. Now, whether that be because of the Jordan Addison injury or whether that be with JJ McCarthy, they just didn't seem like they were themselves today, right? So keep that in mind. We didn't see Denzel Ward practicing today. He had an injury that wasn't really talked about. I believe it happened on Monday's practice. Mike Hall Jr. was actually at practice today for the Browns. He's a guy that was just arrested yesterday for a domestic violence issue. So he was there, but he did get injured during today's practice. So he was with the medical personnel for a little while there, ended up walking off the field and into the locker room, so not too sure what happened there. We saw Nick Mullins throw a pick six to Miles Harden, intended to N'Keal Harry. Yeah, basically the Browns' starting defense was really good. We got to see some kick return work for both teams. It looked like Pierre Strong had a couple of returns. We also saw Dante Foreman get a couple of returns as well. They're really trying to figure out who their starting return guys are, and I think that's something that we'll continue to monitor going forward, so I'm definitely excited about that. Now, guys, I want you to comment down below 1 or 2 players that has impressed you so far, whether it be for the Browns or for the Vikings, 1 offense, 1 defense. Just give me some potential breakout players for the season, because I'm honestly very curious to see what you guys have to say in terms of that. But very excited for the preseason game. I think this is going to be a very telling one. Going to get to see more starters playing. I'm going to get to see who can really stand out a little bit more. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family. We did see JOK out there practicing after his extension. He still looks good. Greg Newsome, Buki Watson, Tony Fields, Jack Conklin, Nick Chubb, and were the majority of players who were not practicing for the Browns today. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you watch the rest of these highlights here for the next couple of minutes without me yapping. So go ahead, watch them. I appreciate you guys. Join the family, and I'll see you guys in the next Vikings-Browns update. Peace.